Good morning, guys. Okay, today is another installment of the Simple Cooking Series. Today we're going to do a camp favorite, and that's going to be biscuits and gravy. Now this is a great quick meal to create at camp when you've got other things to do. We've got to get up, get going on that hike, we've got to get moving, we've got to whatever, go fishing, whatever. So you make instant biscuits, well not instant, but canned biscuits in a skillet right quick. And then you're going to put tear it up into pieces and put sausage gravy over it, shovel it into a bowl. Now this is something that's readily available, standard little small biscuits like you get in the can, and these Southgate homemade home style sausage gravy. Walmart and big places will all have canned gravy like this. So I'm going to show you how I prepare it and make a quick, easy filling, something that's going to stay with you on a cold morning meal. Okay, here we go. Okay. Now I've got my stove going. You initially start it up on high. Now I'm going to drop it down. Give it about a minute, minute and a half to warm everything up. Now turn my selector leveler down so it's not getting raw fuel. It's now just a gas. Turn it down kind of low. Little at the time. Soft adjustments. Campfire, you'd want coals for this. Okay. Little. Get where it's just down low. Still backing down a little at a time, watching my flame. Turn it all the way off and back it out just a little. Okay. Turn it all the way off, watch it start to go down. And crack it just a little. Okay, now I'm going to use a spacer to get it up off of the actual thing. If I put the skillet directly on the heat, I'm going to burn the bottom of it. So I'm using like a 2-inch spacer here. I can put it that way or the other way. I want the widest space down to be the most stable. Okay, and remember, putting the handle of that skillet 90 degrees so it's not directly on it. I'm going to put it in. This is going to be going into the pan dry, which means no oil or butter. I'm going to take my canned biscuits, come on, there we go, pop them open. Now you range them. I like to put one in at 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and just put that last one in there. So it's kind of, each one's got an air space around it. Okay. Now the very center is going to be too hot, so you don't want to put one directly in the center. Move them out a little bit to the edge, like that, and make sure there's a gap all the way around. Now cover it up. And we're going to give them about, I'd say 8 to 10 minutes, and then we'll lift them up, make sure the bottom looks like. When that looks good, we'll flip them, okay? So I'll be back in about 8 or 9 minutes. Okay, see they've puffed up really good. Now I'm going to flip it. Scoop that edge a little bit. Roll it over. Not really set yet. The bottom's getting crispy. Take a spatula or spoon, pick it up, flip it over, make sure you don't put it against one. Nice and gold, not burnt. A little gummy on the bottom. Alright, now making sure there's a little air space between them. Okay, been about another 5 or 7 minutes. Now they're nice and goldy. They're still not quite done. Still a little soft in the middle. So what I'm going to do now, I'm flipping back over yet again. They're firm, But at the same time, I know that center ain't done, so I'm going to put some more heat on the opposite end again. They're already getting flaky on me, coming apart. Alright, 5 minutes and we're done with the biscuits. Okay, now I'm waiting for this last little bit. Let me talk about this for a minute. You should always practice your camp cooking at home. I like these Pathfinder skillets for this because the lid sits in and it seals up well, act like a mini Dutch oven like this. You have to be elevated off your heat a little bit so it spreads out more evenly. Now I'm using a spacer which is out of another stove I have. But if you wanted to practice this at home on the range or something on your own stove, take like a large can, something like a Denny Moore beef stew can or something, cut the top and the bottom out of it and use that. Of course, take the paper off, it'll burn. But sit it up there and practice putting your skillet up there and do it like this. Find out how it works for you. You can make biscuits in a skillet this way, very little muss and fuss this way. So you make your bread first. I would, if I was going to do bacon and eggs, etc., I'd make my biscuits. I'd transfer it over here to a bowl close by to keep it warm. And then I would fry up my bacon. I'd move that off to the side, pour off, and then I would fry my eggs in the drippings. That way everything would be warm at one time. So let's take a look at it. See the steam coming up? That tells me it's done. When you see steam, that means that it's done. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take these bins. See how they just slide right out of the bottom? You don't see any burn or anything? Come on now, come on. Oh, you the fancy one, okay. Put them right over there. Now we'll do a quick looky. Perfectly done in the middle. See that steam coming out of them? Alright, now we're going to turn our heat up just a grunt. Put it back on there. Now we're going to get ready for the sausage and gravy. Now if I just dump gravy in here because it's thick, it'd burn it. I don't want to do that. I want to give it an opportunity to come up to heat. So I'm going to add a little bit of water to it first. That's about it. Just enough to cover the bottom just a little bit. Okay, now I got steam rolling good and I'm about to get a boil. I'm going to add in my gravy. Any additional water I just add, don't worry, it'll boil out. But it made a place for my gravy to get. It wasn't just going to scorch it when it hits. See? Now we start stirring. Let it thoroughly heat. The thick gravies like this, you do not want to stop stirring. You want to keep it going. Just keep it a little bit moving. Because they're thick, and before they'll actually bubble up, they'll start scorching on the bottom. My wife and I discovered this at Walmart. We like it. It's pretty good. You can buy canned gravy to put with mashed potatoes or to use as a base for something else. You start out with a gravy, then you add vegetables and water to it, make a thick stew and stuff like that. All kinds of stuff you can do this way. Good and thick. See how it coats the spoon? That's what we're looking for. Good gravy should coat a spoon. I just run off and leave a clean spoon. Should leave a pretty thick layer on the spoon. Now I'll taste it. See if it needs any salt or something. Nope, just right. You can taste the sausage in it. Now, two methods. I can either crumble biscuit directly up into this, which is what I'm going to do, or I could crumble them up in the bowl and shovel it in. I'm going to take my biscuits and just start tearing off hunks and throwing it in there like this. I found this is a better method for me. It gives it more consistency. It isn't gooey, but at the same time it allows it to have individual hunks. You got anything just tearing apart, boy. Nice flaky layers. Forget to keep stirring. Don't get so focused on tearing your stuff up that you forget to stir. Now throw a couple of pieces of bacon with this on the side for something crunchy, and you got a good meal on a cold morning that's going to sit good, sit heavy on you, and keep you warm for a long time. And that, guys, is biscuit and gravy. Ready to go. Well, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Biscuits and gravy. An old-time staple. It was one of the favorites around the campfire when I was coming up. I hope you've enjoyed this. Do me a favor and hit that like button if you don't mind to feed that algorithm for me. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. I'll have more videos coming up on the Simple Cooking series. And if you got some suggestions, just throw them in the comments. Love to hear from you. Till next time, guys, I'm Blackie wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.